everybody, I'm Quinn.
And I'm Scott, and it's the Almost Friday show for September 2nd, 2010.
Dave's going to be reviewing Iron Man Extremis, the motion comic.
But first, we have a super awesome review for you. We talked about the Toshiba Libretto a couple weeks ago. Sean bought one, the crazy man that he is.
He is very crazy.
And he got it in today. So sneak peek at that first.
We're prying away from his hands just long enough so that you can see it.
But not really, because he'll be showing it to you.
It's
You
true.
bastards.
Then we're going to a fairly lengthy tech insight, because it's been a busy week, as you know.
That's right, Apple came out with a bunch of brand new products this week, so we'll be telling you about what's new with those ones and why you should or shouldn't buy them.
Yeah, and then we're going behind the lens, and we're talking about the Zoom Handy H4N. Good thing to complement your video, some great audio gear, so
Definitely.
check that out.
And in our video this week, we're not doing something funny, we're doing something instead pretty awesome. And that's
yeah.
cardboard warfare, so hang on for that one. But without further ado, we're going to give you the libretto.
All right, folks, welcome to Almost Friday review time. Sean has decided to purchase the Toshiba Libretto, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, kind of like a Microsoft Courier kind of thing, except Toshiba actually made it.
Yeah.
You pre-ordered one. It's only been out
It's been out for
a week in Canada, US, something like that.
It's been out for I think about maybe a week and a half for North America. Really, it kind of burst onto the scene here, very very unannounced.
Well, and it is a limited run, so it's pretty
Yeah.
exclusive if you want to get one. So you did get one through where?
I actually got this from PC Cyber. Usually, I'll admit, I don't usually like to order through them because they have a couple problems here and there. This took forever to come in because they're, well, I won't get into that. Anyway, but I ordered this through PC Cyber. Guys are actually really pleasant to work with. They'd never seen one of these before, and as far as we can tell, I'm the first person in Auto to own it.
You're probably one of the few in Canada to own it, because
Yeah.
I think the limited run was like 1,000 of them or
Yeah.
something. So,
And Amazon had them in the States, and they sold out in 48 hours.
and I'm sure they didn't have very many.
No, they
Yeah.
didn't. They had a run of maybe 100.
Yeah.
And they were out. And but yeah, so that's Amazon. But this came out August 11th in Japan, and you could pre-order, or you can still order it from a group called Connex.net, I believe, or Connex.com, and they'll send you the Japanese version, but you can get it Englishized.
Obviously,
Yeah.
it is running Windows 7, so I mean, you can
Yeah.
obviously change
So-
it's modified. You'll see in a second, but
Yeah, we'll just pull that out of here. Like, I mean, so here you can see the device itself. It's a netbook. Well,
it looks like a 7-inch netbook on the outside, with
Yeah.
less ports.
exactly
You've got basically a USB there,
Right here.
headphone jack,
right there.
pretty standard.
And
Other than
then-
that, not much.
Yeah, then you got your power here. These are just lights, indicator lights up here, and maybe a second mic. Micro SD for expansion. No idea what that's for. And this is the outlet. The fan on this thing is loud because all the componentry, all the motherboard, all the processor is up here. So this is the top of the machine. It's not the bottom, as you can see. Usually they have got two batteries. They've got one that lasts 2 hours, one that lasts 4 hours. This one is the 4-hour. It's slightly larger. It's not flush like the 2-hour would be.
But again, it's not too bad. It just kind of it's
You know
it's
what?
designed
I like
nicely
this.
on the bottom. It doesn't look weird.
And I like this, and I'll show you why. Because you can open the libretto, such as this. So, just as a recap, it's two touchscreens. Sorry. Here, let me just log back in. Stupid.
So yeah, it's got two touchscreens, 7-inch,
Yep, two 7-inch touchscreens, widescreen.
and basically they have at least the bottom one has haptic feedback, which I thought was really useful.
Yep, because the bottom will act as a keyboard.
Yeah, and it is preloaded with Windows 7,
Yep.
and it's not too powerful, but comparable to netbooks.
Actually, the thing is, Toshiba has this thing with their, I'll say their netbook. It's not a netbook to them. It's called a ultra mobile PC.
Yes,
And-
they're still in the UNPC phase.
Yes, and here's the thing. Here's why. Because this isn't using an ARM processor. This isn't using a Atom processor. It's a Pentium U5400, I believe.
Some random UNPC processor. No one's ever heard of.
Exactly. And it's 1.5 gigahertz, dual core at that.
So that's better than an Atom.
Yeah. It's a dual core processor in this little baby. And you know what? As soon as the fan starts hitting up, you can understand the kind of power that is actually under the hood.
So performance, how I know you've just had it.
Yeah, but you know what? Messing around with it throughout the last couple of hours, there's one. My main gripe is you can turn this. So you have it like this here. I'll pull up the keyboard here. So there's a nice little, I'm not sure you can see it very well there in TV land, but there's, for instance, this is the thumb keyboard. So you can use it while you're walking around, two-handed, type like this. It's actually not that bad. It's actually quite good. You get used to it very quickly.
However, when you handed it to me, I was trying to use it like a computer, so I immediately said, hey, can I change my keyboard?
And you can. There are a lot of different keyboards. You can get a...
There's at least two styles of QWERTY. It's actually not bad.
3, actually, I think. So there's one style of QWERTY up here. There's another one.
It's not the typing's not too bad. It's like typing on an iPhone for the first time.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, this is going to be awful, and then you start typing a little bit more, and you're like, okay, I can get used to this.
And it is pretty good. I haven't calibrated the screens yet, so they're still a little bit twitchy. Otherwise, I finally found the area to do it. I haven't read the manual. Who needs that? But the thing that they're really also pushing for this is, like the Courier. The Courier can only be used in a vertical portrait mode. This can work in, of course, portrait and landscape. My main gripe, as I was saying, this thing has a little bit of a lag between switching to portrait mode.
So it's not as simple as switching an iPod Touch or something like that.
Exactly. However, its power-saving modes, the Eco from Toshiba, is quite good. Right now it's running at, I think, 13 watts.
And you can, in fact, if people are wondering, use two completely, use them as separate displays. He's got 2 Wikipedia pages up there, different browser windows.
Yeah, 2 different browsers, actually. I'm using Firefox on one and IE8 on the other.
So it's basically like having 2 displays, but you don't always have to use it that way.
Exactly.
So it's pretty flexible that way.
It is. The quick rundown, I guess, just to make this a little bit quicker, you can change the way the windows are going to show up on the screens. You can have it so you can have them both top and bottom. You can have it so it's spread across. For instance, a YouTube video works really well spread across both screens. There's no lag. You can...
Not that you'd necessarily want to watch it that way.
No. But if you have...
But you could be watching the video, reading the comments on the same page.
Exactly.
But have 2 discrete displays.
Matter of fact, what we found out is that you can, in fact, have full screen and read comments, scroll through them, and not cause any lag.
Now, see, that's a pretty cool feature.
Yeah. I don't know if that's if that was one that they were really trying to push, or if it's a fluke.
But still, I mean, that's something I'd use a lot, especially on mobile, because you're like, if I'm watching a video, I want to do something else, but you can't.
Exactly. Whereas in this case, you can.
So, pretty versatile device overall. Little pricey, I think.
Yes.
It's definitely a toy.
It is a toy.
I would say. It's not...
Actually, you know what I've been reading? A lot of people who've done reviews over the last couple weeks, they started out saying it's a toy. But you know what? They've also gone back and said, you know what? No, this thing is a pretty good machine to just use. If you use a netbook,
but a good machine that costs 3 times as much as it needs to is a toy.
Very much so. This thing costs we'll just say $1,100 for simplicity's sake. $1,100.
That's the MSRP, yeah.
Yeah, and so I got lucky, and well, $200 was off, whether by accident or I don't know what. The generosity. Either way.
But if you're the tech geek, if you're that guy who's like, please, Microsoft, make the Courier, Toshiba did it for them.
Yep. And the thing is, with Microsoft, you had that snip tool where you could grab something from a screen and move it into this little journal area and comment and email it off. You can do that on this. Toshiba took the concept of the Courier and said, hey, let's actually realize it, and let's. We already had the Libretto series or line of laptop or UMPC. Let's really modify it. Let's go some other step before someone else gets in the market with it.
Well, there you go. They were the first. That's the first dual touchscreen PC on the market.
Yep.
Toshiba Libretto.
Yeah. Just as a quick note, though. Hopefully you can hear this. That's the fan.
It's yeah.
That's pretty loud.
I thought it's louder than his MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
Next up, we're going to Dave from the Gutters.
I'm Dave, and this week I'm alone on From the Gutters. This week we're going to be talking about Iron Man Extremis, the motion comic. This week there was a book that came out, a collection. It has Iron Man Extremis has been released previously as a softcover and a hardcover, but this time around it is in a smaller format, and it comes with a motion comic that plays like a DVD. In fact, I think it is just a DVD. At any rate, mostly I'm going to be talking about the motion comic tonight. Iron Man Extremis, the story written by Warren Ellis and illustrated by Adi Granau, is a great book. First of all, you got someone with a writer of the caliber of Warren Ellis writing a story for Iron Man. Warren Ellis writes a bunch of stuff that almost makes sense. He uses, and I've said this about him before, I've reviewed a few of his books before this, but he uses tech talk that almost makes sense, and your brain sort of fills in the gaps. It's like that almost sounds like it could totally be real. So I'm going to just accept that it exists. With Extremis, basically the story breakdown is there is a nano agent that has been invented by this woman who Tony Stark says is smarter than her. I don't know in the story if he's just sort of trying to get her on his side or get her to do what he's trying to get her to do. At any rate, it is an agent that has been stolen and introduced into another person's body. And this body, this terrorist's body, a homeland, a United States native terrorist who has a bit of a grudge against the U.S. government. Anyway, he has the agent introduced into his body, and it alters it on a very microscopic level to be a super weapon. Interesting story, and Adigrano's artwork, I love his artwork. It's dark, it's grim, a little stark, but ultimately a beautiful book. Well written. I enjoyed the dialogue and all that sort of thing. All in all, I give the story a B+, bordering on A-. Now, the motion comic. This was produced using the original artwork of Adigrano, all the stuff that appeared in the comic book, and they adapted it to have motion. I should explain this a little more. This was done by Magnetic Dreams, the studio that does all sorts of things from music videos to websites to stuff like this motion comic. They took Adigrano's artwork and Warren Ellis's script, did voice acting using multiple characters. If some of you have heard of about the Watchmen motion comic, where there was one guy who did all the voices, there are a lot of people who got really jarred by him doing the voice of some of the female characters. So in this case, I think Magnetic Dreams took a bit of a lesson and got different people to do the different voices. So we have a full voice track, a full cast doing the voices, and they captured the artwork from the comic books and then altered it. I believe it's a program called Puppeteer. They also had to make 3D models, computer graphics 3D models, for really almost any scene that had the Iron Man armor in it. Now, very interesting process, and it's actually kind of neat to watch the behind-the-scenes material. Did I think that this added to the story? I don't think so. The thing about all of this is, this whole unit has a US price of $24.99. You can buy just the motion comic on its own from iTunes at $15.99 for high def and $9.99 for standard definition. But would I recommend waiting for the softcover to be released again, or do you want to spend $24.99 on the whole thing? Because of the smaller format, because of my adequate satisfaction with the motion comic, I wouldn't say so. I would say wait for the softcover to be released. I would really rather read it in a bigger format as well. Magnetic Dreams, I am impressed with. As a studio, they were really cool. All of the different elements involved in this particular release were very impressive. Unfortunately, they did not, to my mind, come together as a whole on this item. All right, that's about it this week. Next week, I'm going to try and get Ms. Sam involved again in doing lightning round. That's it. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good week.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Apple Insight. I mean, Tech Insight.
It might as well be Apple Insight.
It might as well be.
These rates, Apple releases something every other week for us to talk about. But this time they actually had a legitimate announcement. So they basically released tons of new crap. Like they do.
It's
3 times a
September.
year,
It's
yeah.
September, so they
It's
do
iPod
their
Day,
they do their
yeah.
music thing, and they give us some new music toys.
There's
and-
usually one more thing.
yes, there's usually one more thing.
So we're just going to give a quick rundown of the new iPods, whether we like them, whether we don't, features and things like that. First up, the iPod Touch. No surprises here at all, pretty much. It got that beautiful Retina display,
Yep.
like the iPhone 4. Front-facing VGA camera for
Yep.
FaceTime, which is great. The rear camera...
Not stills, just video. Now, I'm fairly certain the reason why this happened is, if you remember last generation's iPod Touch, it was very thin.
It was very
The
thin.
new generation iPod Touch is even thinner.
No.
And if you actually look at some of the deconstruction specs on the iPhone 4, that camera is why that phone is as thick as it is, because it needs that space for a sensor that's actually good. So they've put a really small 720p video camera, more or less a slight upgrade from what used to be in the older Nano. And that's why there's no stills, because honestly they just couldn't fit a proper still camera in
Which
there.
isn't a bad move, because like you were saying earlier, we were talking before the show, that this is going right after those Flip Minnow HD cameras that
Yeah.
are this big and only shoot 720p.
Well, because you're going to go out now and you're going to be looking at the new flip cameras and they're going to be $229, and you go, well, for the same price, I could get
Yeah.
something that plays music and browses the web, and it's just a
or,
no-brainer.
or alternatively, there are some a little cheaper than that, right? But let's say I'm also looking for a new iPod.
Yep,
Or,
absolutely.
my iPod's getting a little older. It's very easy to sway that over.
So they've upgraded the processor to the A4 chip, which
Yep.
is what they're using in the iPhone. It's basically an iPhone without the good camera and
the
without phone calls.
Yeah. So, a new iPod Touch, I think, is a really hot device.
Yes.
For sure. The prices went up a little bit, but for what you get,
I think it's justified.
I think it. Yeah, I don't think it. I was thinking earlier, it's kind of, oh, that's pretty high, but it's not.
No.
It does a lot. I mean, if you're gonna use the video and you're gonna play the games, it's shipping with iOS 4.1. Which has the Game Center in it.
Yeah.
So that's the whole new game networking.
I think they're going to make a
thing.
killing with this one.
I think it's a really good product, to be honest with you. I don't have any qualms with it.
And if you've been holding out to get a touch, this is
this
really
is the one
time.
to get, yeah. Up from here, I really don't know what they'd add.
Well,
That would
maybe
be-
they'll actually add a proper camera. But,
guess.
But beyond that, we're just
Yeah.
missing phone calls.
Yeah. They also released a new iPod Shuffle, which was good because we hated the last one here.
And so did everyone else.
Yeah, I don't think they sold very many.
So Steve came out and said, you know what, we realize people like to have buttons on their Shuffle, so they made this. If you remember the second generation Shuffle,
It looked like
it
this,
looked
but
like
a little
that.
bigger.
Yeah.
Maybe a centimeter longer.
Yeah.
Than that.
So this guy has the old buttons from the older generation iPod Shuffle, but they've added the same voice
Voiceover.
control that the last one had. So it's really the best of both worlds.
And there are playlists.
Yes.
Multiple playlists, which was
And
a good
Genius
feature.
playlists as well.
Which was a super... I almost wanted to buy one. I thought about it and didn't, but I was like, oh, that's Genius playlist.
And it has longer battery life than the older one.
Yeah, it does, yeah. It's 15 hours, something like that. It's
Yeah.
long for music playback. I think that's exactly what the Shuffle should be.
The other thing they did is they're offering it in one version only, which is 2 gigs, and they've dropped that price point to $49. It used to be $69, so now it's a really good price if you want a simple music player.
Is $49 the Canadian price?
That's the U.S. price. I expect it to be $10
Yeah,
more.
it's probably $69 in Canada. But it is a good price point. That's what the Shuffle should be.
Yes.
It's got the clip. That's exactly what I thought the Shuffle... I love the second gen
I don't
Shuffle.
really know how they can make it better than what it is now.
No, they just went backwards
Yeah.
to make it better, is what, and added some software features realistically. So,
So up to
Shuffle.
that, they made the iPod Nano. We'll show you a picture of it because, well, it's the iPod Shuffle, except
it's got a
that's
screen
a
on
touch
it.
screen.
Yeah. Well, I don't like this device.
I'm on the fence about this device. I think it's kind of cool, but at the same time, yeah, it's
you know what?
missing stuff. Is the
I've
problem.
thought about it. I think the best way to look at it is if they didn't have the last gen Nano, this device would make awesome sense and would be really cool.
Yes.
But because they defeaturized it and didn't add enough, it's got your FM radio, it's got Genius playlist, it's got that kind of stuff. You're not going to be able to. I don't know if you can watch video, but you're not going to. It's fairly
No,
small.
you can't watch video on it, so they took that away.
Which is
and-
good, because it would have been terrible anyway.
And it doesn't have a camera, which they took away.
But the price point's the exact same.
Yes.
I think if another company had come out with that exact device, it would be a killer device.
Yeah.
But I think because Apple already had something with these extra features that some people liked. Like, my girlfriend has one of the Nanos with the camera. She thought that was stupid when she bought it. She's used the camera.
Yeah.
So-
Now, what I do like is the price point. It's a $20 difference to go from 8 to 16 gig.
That's
which I really
yeah.
think means a lot of people are going to go to 16 gig.
We might as well. If
Yeah.
you're going to spend the money on that little tiny thing.
And they're
Okay.
claiming, I believe it's 24 hours. of
It's a
use.
long battery life.
Yeah.
For
It's
playback.
Something like 10 to
Yeah.
24 hours.
I think it's 24 sounds right.
Yeah.
And it does have a bunch of fitness things built in, so it's got like a pedometer and
Yeah.
it syncs to Nike Plus.
And you can rotate the screen, which is kind of cool depending on where you decide to clip it to you. Because it has a clip like the Shuffle does.
Yeah, which is nice, actually. If it was a little cheaper, the Shuffle would be redundant.
Yes.
I think this kind of fuzzies up the low end of the iPods for me.
I think it's really people that just want to listen to music are going to buy a Shuffle, unless they need the extra space.
At which point you have to buy a Nano.
Yeah, but people who maybe like a little bit more gadgetry are going to probably move to the Nano just because, look, it's touchscreen, you know, and be excited
I mean,
about
you
that.
can look at your pictures on the touchscreen, which
Yeah.
is, well, it's a tiny screen.
And
so it's not-
arguably, the clock looks really awesome, so I'm waiting for the
the iWatch,
iWatch where you buy a
because
band.
it
and
looks
just-
exactly like a watch.
but a really pretty watch.
You can just buy one of those black cloth wristbands and just clip it on that, and you have a watch.
It'd be pretty sweet.
It'd be all right. Expensive watch for,
Well,
the
it does
look,
play
but
music.
It's true. And this was not announced. Steve was like, "Oh, we changed all the iPods," but they didn't. The Classic still exists. It's still for sale, and it's the same form as last year, which makes me very happy.
I think this is the last year it's going to exist.
I was surprised it's still here.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's my favorite iPod by far ever.
Well, because it makes the most sense. It
yeah.
holds a boatload of music.
Yeah, and that's what I want my iPod.
And
for,
honestly,
right?
if they kill it, I'll be really upset because when my 80 gig dies and I don't have an option to buy something that has 160 or 200 gigs, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I wouldn't.
My
buy them.
cars have decks that only use iPods.
Yeah,
So I can't survive on 32 gigs of music. It's not a possibility for me.
it's not right. And they did there was one more thing. The predicted one more thing, actually.
Apple TV.
Apple TV, not iTV.
So they've kept the name, which I think was a smart choice because people already knew about Apple TV.
Yes.
So it allows them to just go, we've made it better, as opposed to being like, it's a new product.
Yeah, and because the Apple TV wasn't hated, it was just before its time.
Yes.
So going
Because
with the name
I've
was good
used a
idea.
bunch of media players. I've used a bunch of hard drive-based media players. And
A lot of them are missing.
Yeah, and although Apple's restrictive of what you can do with it, nothing comes close to the speed and ease of navigating Apple's device over all the other ones I've tried.
No, I think the Apple TV was just way before those things were practical for people that wanted to want, but they aren't now.
Right. Steve came out and said that what people wanted was they didn't care about hard drive space. They didn't want to have to sync things. You know, they didn't want it to. They wanted it to be small and cool and not make a lot of noise and stuff like that.
HD, which is very important, which the Apple TV really just didn't do.
Yeah.
So they launched the new one. It looks pretty cool. It's kind of
Show you
like,
a picture
like
here.
a hockey puck. It's small.
It's literally the size of your palm.
But if you think about it, you don't need anything in there.
No.
You need the processor.
which has the same processor as the new iPod Shuffle.
That's it. There's nothing. You don't. That's
It's
it. That's all
RAM.
that's in there. And like an interface.
Yeah.
Like some,
So on the back, you get an HDMI port, you get an Ethernet port, and you get an optical audio port.
which I thought was a little restrictive because I've got an older TV that doesn't have HDMI, and I was like, oh, I'm going to buy one. Oh, it's only HDMI.
Yeah.
But realistically, it makes sense to
Pretty
make a
much
small
everything's
device.
HDMI
I like
now.
that they had the optical audio because a lot of people don't use HDMI audio just because it's harder to hook up. There's a USB port on there that you can't use, which is always good.
Someone will figure out how to hack it.
I hope so.
At this point, what it's doing is it's streaming content, so you don't you can't buy TV shows or buy movies
Well,
on it anymore.
Not on it.
You can only rent.
Yeah, so you can buy them on your iTunes and watch them on your Apple TV.
Yes.
That works just like before.
But you can't buy them on your
But if you're
Apple TV.
sitting on your Apple TV and you say, I want to watch the new episode of How I Met Your Mother, boom, you're streaming it in HD.
Yeah.
And they stayed to 720p, which I thought was really smart, because that way they can say, yes, it does HD, which is TV HD. At the same time, it's not going to hog your bandwidth.
Yeah, and your routers won't crash.
Yeah. So 99-cent streaming of HD TV shows, but only from Fox and ABC, because that's the only people
Not
that
everyone
can-
wants to jump on board with that because the
Not
price
surprising.
point is kind of low.
not
It's good for
surprising.
us, bad for the big
Yeah.
corporations.
The only thing I didn't like about the Apple TV was the fact that it pretty much doesn't support any codecs. So if you're that guy who has a bunch of downloaded TV from other places, you can't use it. until it gets hacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I do like about Apple TV is the price point. Instead of it being $229,
Yes.
which it used to be, it is now $99 or $120 if you're in Canada.
Great price point. Even at 120, I was like, you know what? That's
Absolutely.
That's
It's really
right.
great for the people that are just like, I don't want to go
Yeah.
to the video store.
It's right in par with the other devices like the Roku box and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I think good product.
So last thing to really quickly talk about is they updated iTunes to iTunes 10.
With
And
a dumb logo.
Yes, the logo's not as good, but there's nice alternatives out there if you search around. But what they added was their new ping service. It's iTunes attempting to get into social media.
It's terrible.
Yeah, you know, I think there's some features about it, but overall it's a lackluster.
I think there's some features that are cool.
Yes.
I think the fact that it's in software is their biggest problem. Because iTunes is not good software on any PC. It's not.
It's also not running 64-bit even on the new systems.
But if you have a Mac Pro, iTunes still bogs down because it's written poorly.
yes.
So it's too big. You don't want a social media in that. I'm sorry. But I think it's just that we don't need another one. We have Twitter, we have blogs, we have Facebook, we have MySpace. We don't need to also have to go update our iTunes.
So really quickly, what Ping does is allow people to follow you, much like Twitter, and see what you're listening to, what you've bought, when you post that you're going to concerts and stuff like that. So it's social media with a music twist to it is what it's geared at. So, I mean, if you have it, you can try it out. There's no big harm, but I don't think it's going to catch on like Twitter or Facebook by any means.
And really, I think if this came out maybe 6 years ago, would have been huge.
Yeah.
But it didn't, so I'm not going to use it.
So enough with Apple. We're going to talk about Samsung because, well, they're trying to beat
Samsung
Apple.
has been beefing up their Android lineup like no other company I've ever seen. So we talked about the Galaxy S a little while ago, quick little smartphone. Now they're talking about the Galaxy Tab, 7-inch tablet, looks nice. Standard specs for a tablet. It's got the 1 gigahertz processor. It's got HSPA built in, so 3G, wireless N. It's got a camera on the back.
I'm assuming it's using their own OMLED screen.
Yes,
Super
that's
OML.
that's what Samsung's pushing, right?
Yes.
So it should be a nice crisp screen. I don't remember the resolution, but it was higher than iPad, I
Yeah.
believe.
Pretty much everything. Is
Add a
now.
smaller screen too, so that's gonna be nice. Running Android Froyo on chip, which is nice. It's
That's
not
2.2, right?
2.2. That's the newest revision. So you're not gonna be like, oh crap, I have Android 2.0, like when you buy any Android phone.
1.6.
Yeah, so that's good. And then it has a bunch of features that the iPad just doesn't have. It's got a camera.
Yep.
It's got, I believe it has a memory card slot.
Yep.
Flash support.
It does have flash support built into the Android browser because it's running Android. So I think that this is a really awesome product until I saw the price point.
$699 and $799.
Too high.
Yeah.
Way too high. The iPad is too expensive.
Both of those versions need to be at least $200 cheaper.
No. If you can get this on contract on a carrier for $200, it'll sell. If you can't, no one's going to buy it. That's the problem.
It's too expensive.
Great device. I think it looks really cool. It's going to be snappy. It's got Android. I love that. It's more than capable of competing with the iPad if they get some bigger form factor apps on Android, which
Yeah.
once tablets come, they will. I think the 7-inch side's better.
It's a little bit more pocketable.
Yeah, and no, it's $700.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that.
But speaking of carriers, looks like the CRTC's laid down some laws for.
They've laid down some laws. Bell and Telus are the big telcos in the country. And basically, they sell to small independent companies their bandwidth because Bell owns all the pipes, right? The small companies have been speed limited to 5 megabits by Bell because Bell's like, well, there are pipes. We want
to
an advantage.
appear superior.
Yeah. So Bell's got up to 25 megabits now. CRTC says if you're selling that to your customers, the independents have to be able to sell that speed to their customers as well. So if Bell wants to offer 25, they have to let Company A sell 25 to their customers as well at whatever price they deem possible. Really good ruling, going to make the market more competitive, hopefully. A lot of the small companies have already been crushed,
Yeah.
so maybe most people
The
won't
last
see
few
an
hanging
advantage.
on will have a little bit of a push now.
Yeah, hopefully that'll be good. This has already existed for cable, so Rogers has already had to do this. But at the same time, the CRTC did say that they can upsell their services now. So if it's faster, they can charge Company A more.
Okay.
So maybe Company A won't be able to give as competitive prices. So who
We'll
knows
see how,
where this is
we'll
going
see
to
how
go.
it turns out.
I think it's a really fair ruling by the CRTC,
Absolutely.
which is nice to see because sometimes they're just crazy.
Well, you know, these other companies are technically customers of Bell anyways, right? So,
Yeah, except they don't get much of Bell's money. Or Bell doesn't get much of their money.
I suppose.
And Bell doesn't have to deal with them ever.
Yeah.
But hopefully good for the competitive internet market. Next thing, quick note. My favorite company in the graphics world, ATI, has been stripped of their brand. AMD bought ATI 5-6 years ago. And good purchase, gave them some more money. AMD's a huge company. They've decided to take away the ATI brand so they don't confuse customers with the whole, because they're bringing GPUs are going to start becoming CPUs and that whole synergy that's coming along. So it's gone. I've only owned ATI cards. I love ATI. I'm sad.
ATI, we salute you, and we will miss you dearly.
Last thing, wrap up. Hotmail finally got with it. You can now active sync it to your non-Windows mobile phone.
Welcome to 3 years ago, Hotmail.
Welcome to IMAP, which has been out forever.
Yes.
So, Active Sync does your email, calendar, contacts?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can Active Sync that to your iPhone, iOS device if you want.
I've set it up with a couple of phones. My mom uses Hotmail.
Works fine?
It works fine.
There you go.
She was very happy to not have to re-delete everything all the time.
Because as a Hotmail user, you can finally use not a Windows mobile phone and access your email without the web. So that's good.
What kind of sense does that make? Whatever.
I don't know.
Microsoft just makes stupid decisions all the time.
All the time. Every day, really.
That wraps up Tech Insight this week, and we'll be coming back with Behind the Lens.
Welcome to Behind the Lens. We're talking about this guy in a second, but first, some camera news, because this is a camera segment.
It is.
It is.
Occasionally.
From now, yeah.
Canon had an expo this week. It's still sort of ongoing, I believe. But the big thing everyone was talking about was that they came out with a 4K camera, and by 4K I mean that it shoots video at 4,000 pixels, which is twice the resolution of
Big.
high definition.
It's big.
It's big.
That's a lot of pixels.
Other cameras that shoot 4K, the red camera,
Yeah.
which lots of people shoot with and love because, well, it's amazing. Now, the thing about the Canon prototype is that it's using a small 2/3 size sensor, which is actually what's out of a point and shoot, so not going to compete with the red.
Interesting.
But it's a proof of concept for Canon. We got a picture over here. It's rather magical looking, but also kind of weird. It's sort of a turn up with a lens on the top
Kind
of
of
it.
be like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with this, but videography was not my first guess.
Yeah. No, I mean, some of the, Philip Bloom and Vincent Laforet and stuff have been talking about the camera because, well, they do professional DSLR video, and they all said it's nice, but you can never shoot with it because it doesn't have any kind of normal manual control or anything like that. But again, this is a concept. Canon's never going to make that.
This is Canon coming out and saying, yes, we know 4K's around. We can do it. Be patient.
So it will be interesting to see what they bring to the market, whether they're going to try and compete with the red down the road or something like that. I mean, if anyone could do it, it would be Canon at this point. I wouldn't see them, I would see them coming in 2 years from now and going here. But if it's 2 years from now, red might already have the market, and who knows? They'd have to come in at a really good price point, and
we'll wait and see. Point is, Canon's coming out and saying, yes, we know 4K. Okay.
They also made a 120 megapixel huge ass sensor as well.
I saw that, yeah.
Again, they can't use it in anything,
No.
but it's a proof of concept.
But they have it. They're like, look, a big sensor.
It's like this big.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Completely unnecessary, but awesome. So yeah, that's it from the Canon Expo. That's really all that's been going on recently. So I'm going to talk about a product. This isn't a new product at all, but we've talked a lot about DSLR video, and DSLR video is great. If you have a wonderful picture and everything looks pretty and everything's sharp, it's not going to help you if your sound is atrocious, because 50% of your video is audio, and the behind the story is that you can make up for bad video with good audio, but you cannot make up for bad audio with good video. So the problem with a lot of these SLRs is some of them don't have a built-in mic, or don't have a mic input, so you can't use a better microphone with them.
And even when they do, you get very limited control over levels, and there's never a preamp.
Well, the preamps that are in them are pretty bad. They're not really high quality. So this is something that if you've done any DSLR research, have probably heard about, as it's sort of the industry standard of what most guys go to for recording. So this is the Handy H4N, which is made by a company called Zoom, and all they really do is audio recording products.
If you're in the audio world, they're a big name, and they have been for a little while.
Yeah. So, although, if you go check out their site, it's a Japanese site for the most part, they're not a low-rate product. They're very popular, very well-known. You talk to any DSLR HD video professional, and I guarantee you they own one of these. It's in their gear bag somewhere. So, what's nice about this one is right off the bat, you've got a set of much better quality microphones. Now, what's cool about these microphones is you can actually rotate the ends on them and change the recording angle from 90 degrees to 120 degrees. So, if you're interviewing one subject and you really just want to focus on them, you turn turn it down to 90, whereas if you're going to be talking to a crowd of people, or maybe you're recording a band or something, you want to have a larger pitch that you can record from, which is pretty neat. But on top of having the microphones, which are much higher quality than what's built into your camera.
And don't look at them and say, no, they're not very good. They are really good microphones.
Very good microphones.
Especially for that size and stuff. They're configured really well, and they work really well.
At the bottom, you've got 2 XLR inputs, so you can run industry standard professional microphones with those. But they've kind of made these ports a little bit multifunctional in the fact that you can put a 1/4-inch jack in the middle, so you can plug a guitar right in.
You see a lot of these jacks on portable audio gear because it just makes it way easier than having to bring adapters.
Yep. Now the other thing too is if you're going, oh well, I've got a Rode Shotgun Zoom mic already. Why do I need this? Well, you can also plug a regular mini phone right into the back of this guy. So not only do you have XLRs, 1/4-inch built-in mics, but you got mini phone as well. So you can throw pretty much anything you want at this device, and it's going to be able to record it.
Phantom power, no, right?
Yeah, no, it is phantom power. So you do have phantom power
good to
control. Runs on 2 AA batteries. When you're running it, you have the option of recording in 96 kilohertz 24-bit mode, so that's sort of industry standard for high-quality audio.
That's top-notch wave. You can't really record much better than that.
Yeah, and if you are, you probably wouldn't notice it anyways.
No,
you also have a full range of MP3 bit rates to choose from, as well as VBR, so a full selection based on how much space you want to take up on your card. That's what this guy records to, SD cards. You can put up to 32 gigs in it, so lots of recording space. The nice thing about this is it can also record from all 4 devices at one time. So you can have both XLRs, the microphone, and the mini phone at the back all recording at the same time.
In separate tracks.
In separate... Well, no. Yeah, there's a 4-channel track mode. It's a little bit complicated. But you can also just have it all record as one track, too, depending on what you need to accomplish.
Please never do that. That's all I have to say.
Yes,
Please never do that.
It wouldn't work out all that well.
But if you really need to for some reason...
Now, we've talked about the BeachTech adapter on here before, and what the BeachTech gives you that normally this guy wouldn't give you is monitoring capabilities. If you decided to, you can monitor off this, but then you can't run it into the camera. Well, I found out that if you plug a standard headphone splitter into this guy, you can run the line out to not only your microphone input on the camera, but also a set of headphones. So you don't actually have to record audio in this guy. You can just use the mics or use the XLR inputs and run directly into your camera if you feel like it. Or you can run into your camera and record at the same time, and that way you'll have similar wave files to be able to match up in post if you want to replace it with higher quality audio.
Yeah, which is actually a really good option because then it makes your matching up really easy as opposed to having to do the old clapper thing, right? So.
Absolutely. So this is a really great tool if you're looking to get better audio. It also is just great, if you're not doing video, even if you just want to record stuff.
Records bands really great, really good for interviews. If you're doing, even for 2 people, like if we're interviewing here, we've each got our own microphone.
Yeah.
It's really great for tabletop interviews, reporters, stuff like that, podcasters. It's great.
Get about 6 hours of battery life. If you throw it in stamina mode and record at a lower bit rate, you get 11 hours, which is, that's a whole day of recording for sure. So this guy retails for $369, which actually puts it a little bit cheaper than the BeachTech, which doesn't give you any recording options. So with that little trick of splitting your line out, I definitely think it's a good alternative and a little bit more multifunctional than what the BeachTech gives you. So that wraps up Behind the Lens this week, and we'll be coming right back with the video of the week. Hey everybody, it's that time of the week, except this time we're not really going for funny, we're really just going for cool.
Yeah. This week's video, I really enjoyed it. It's really cool.
The title of the video is Cardboard Warfare, and it's basically
It's very descriptive. It's very apt for
a couple of guys
decide
decide to go to war with some cardboard guns. So check out the clip.
Gun.
So, on the exterior, it seems like it's just going to be a silly video because they've got cardboard guns and stuff.
Yeah.
And then that action sequence kicks in, and all of a sudden there's muzzle fire and clips going everywhere, and you realize these guys have put in some really good production value.
like the little CG. Yeah, it's well done. I really enjoyed it. It was funny because Quinn introduced it to me, and he was like, "It's called Cardboard Warfare, but you can enjoy this." And I was dubious. I was like, I think maybe I'm probably, it is Quinn, and
Now, we just played a short snippet for you. I will let you in on a hint. There's a tank later, and yes, it's also made out of cardboard. So go watch the whole clip because it's awesome on its own right. But yeah, overall, really awesome production value. They're working on a cardboard warfare 2.
Yes, which I'm very excited about.
So I'm excited to see that because, even if this was just like a snippet, I mean, even if they make another 3-minute video, it'd still be cool.
Yeah.
But if they make like a 10-minute video, that'd be awesome.
They would have me.
Clearly, they're doing some good work with effects, and it's awesome to see some amateur production like that. So
Yes, it's nice to see that kind of professional CG, that kind of professional production come out of an amateur house.
yeah. So definitely go check out the full clip. Watch it in HD because it does look good. It's filmed well. Overall, good production value. So yeah, that's the cool video this week. That brings us to the end of the show. As per usual, if you want to get a hold of us, you can follow us at Twitter. We are almost_Friday.
You can also email us at contact@almostfridayshow.com.
Let us know if you went out and bought a libretto before Sean did, and maybe you're the first person in Canada and you want to steal the title from him, because I know he's holding on to that title dear.
And I'll kill you if you do.
Apparently there might be fisticuffs involved if you decide to challenge it.
Fisticuffs or other kind of gentlemanly violence.
Anyway, until next time, make sure that you don't fall for the Apple fanboy too hard, all right?